All right, we are continuing with the Millennium Falcon build process. Going to be looking today at issues 18, 19, potentially 18, 19, 20, and 21. We're going to start 18 and 19, see where we get to in roughly an hour and 15. See if we can get 4 issues done. Be great if we could. Certainly possible. Let me sign into chat here. Oh, can't do it. Me. Hold on. Let me sign into chat. Thought I was already signed in. Oh, it's going to prompt me on my phone, which I'm currently using as a camera. Super. Super duper. Should work. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, this will work. Just a moment. Yeah. All right. Good. I don't know why I'm signing into chat. It really doesn't matter if I type to chat. I can always talk. I can always respond to the things you say in chat that way. Chat really doesn't matter if I type to chat. I can always talk. I can always respond to the things you say. There we go. I don't need to hear my live show when I'm doing my live show now. All right, let's go ahead and do this. We are, we're going to try and get 4 done today. 18. Starting with 18. 18, 19, 20, 21. I think we can do it. Oh my gosh. Well, we'll see. 18 has more of everybody's favorite parts. The rings with the pads on them. If you've been paying attention to any of the previous parts or previous episodes, you know they like to give you a ton of these. And it's this business right here with the rings and all of the pads. Then we also get, we get an assembly jig. This is our first one of these. So this is a plastic support that we'll use to put the Falcon on while we're building it. We also get some more hull frames. That's actually how it's going to start. So we're going to start by opening the bag and extending our hull frames like we do. The hull, that frame, that metal frame that makes up the outside of the Falcon, that is just getting bigger and bigger. It's here's the plastic. Interesting. Here's the plastic piece that it was talking about for holding up the Falcon. It's kind of puzzle piecey. Look at that. You get your cutouts on this side and your tabs on this side, and eventually this thing will piece together like a big puzzle. It's kind of cool. It's misleading, like you might be, for your instinct might be, it's just filler to kind of protect items in the bag, but no, so don't throw these away when you get them. We'll set them over here by my broken Bruce Willis that fell down while I was gone. I think the cat hopped up on the 3D print table here and broke poor Bruce Willis's foot. It's all right. I've been using this Bruce Willis as an airbrush practice deal, and his little footsie got snapped off. His other footsie, just fine, but this footsie, broken. Here is the broken footsie. Easily glued back together, but, I don't know how much I really need to bother with that since it's kind of a airbrush practice dummy. I'm the airbrush practice dummy, clearly, in this scenario. All right, so there's our other pieces. We'll get all these guys out of the way while we work on the frame addition. It is just this little piece right here that we're going to be adding to the whole frame. here's what's interesting. The piece that it shows, so it shows the right piece here, but it gives me, like over here, it's showing a completely different shaped piece right there, as you can see it. That is like a little cutout-y shape right there. That is clearly not the same shape that they put on the previous page as the example. Oh, got it. They've got one from the previous issue. All right, let's get that. Let's get the previous issue piece, whole piece that I didn't add. Got this guy right here. Got to make sure we get the screws, the correct screws. The black screws are what we use. Here's our hull so far. It's getting big. It's getting very big. We'll arrange it like they have it in their diagram. Also get my screwdrivers. Handy dandy dandy. We'll use those in a second. Let me find that last hull piece, which is right here. Poly mackerel. Keeping these things organized, gotta do it. Gotta make sure you keep everything handy and both handy and dandy. So this guy will go, looks like right there. Z is correct. This will continue the hull pieces right there. Cool. And I assume the other one will go right above it, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Screw derivers. I think this is, I can never remember. I've got, some that are really good for this. And I can never remember which one it is, but we'll start with this guy because I think that's the one. And then this guy has 4 black screws and another 2-panel joiner piece. Keep these in a good, safe place. Rubber mat is perfect for that. Good magnetic screwdriver for this, and what we'll do is we'll get the screw hole lined up, and then we'll screw, get it started. Then we'll do the other one just to kind of get those both in position, and then we'll tighten them both. Very simple, very easy, just like that. Now that they're in place, we can hold this guy up and we can finish the tightening of the screws. Definitely make sure I'm not stripping anything. That is indeed turning the screw. A little support behind it. Again, a little more turning of the screw. My favorite Shakespearean play, the turning of the screw. There we go. That part of the frame done. Let's get to the next one here. We're going to use the 2-hole connector, join frames BF9 and BF20. Oh, this is interesting. This will be the first time that we've used a connector not attached to one of the center ribs. That connector is going to go right here. So we're going to do the connector screw first. So this is interesting. Let's connect this guy first. I'm noticing that I've got 2 black screws left, and in essence I've got 3 places where these black screws are going to go. So there's that. But I've got, I think they provided screws in previous installments that I believe I've already put into the little place where I'm going to be storing all the extras. This is where a third hand would come in handy. Handy. Let's get, all right, too heavy for me to put on the magnetic deal? Why no? Works out perfectly. Get that guy in there. align things correctly. Tighten. Good. Then we've got our deal here. We will, let's do this first. Get the screw on here where it needs to go. And then what we'll do is we'll line this guy up with both of these, and we'll put this one in first because potentially that is going to be the more difficult of the two to make sure they all match up. Potentially. There we go. That's in there. Good. All right, let's see what we got for black screws. Singing in the dead of night. Yes, we have more of the black fixing screws. Oh, we got tons of them. Why do I have so many? All right, well, plenty. Let's just grab one out of here. They've given lots of black screws, lots of them. We've got many black screws to use in this parts, to use in this assembly of the parts of the Millennium Falcon. Make sure to keep all those screws in a safe place. I recommend Walgreens pill container. That's where I keep mine. You know those containers your grandparents have, maybe your parents have, where they store all of the pills that they need to take on a daily basis. I'll show it off again. I haven't showed it in a while. So this is it. This is the full-size one. Now, this is a little excessive, right? I don't need 28 places to store screws. But what's handy about this one is the little tabs thing on the bottom, they let you pop out each little 4 set of screws. So really, for the Millennium Falcon, I just need one. I just need one of these. And I can write on it, you know, black fixing screws or silver self-tapping screw or whatever, and just store them all in there. So it's a really good place to keep all those extras so you don't lose them. And that's exactly what I've done. And I have a ton more for other things. I've got some for the Iron Man collection right over here. These are all Iron Man ones. But I've got, you know, 5 more that I can use for projects around the house, right? Handy. Handy dandy. Ask for it by name at your local Walgreens. Available at Walgreens. So in here I've actually got more of those self-tapping screws and different sizes of the silver screws. So we're going to keep these in bag for now till we need them. So we've got 1/3 of the lower hull done. This is 1/3 of the lower hull of the Falcon. And these 4 were these little 4 tabs down here. You can see right here and right here. These are where the mandibles are attached. The forward mandibles. Nom 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 nom. All right. Good with the hull for now. Let's move on to the next page. This is where, see again, it says, hey, here's how the hull plating fits. Do you want to put pieces on there? But don't glue them. Don't do anything with them. Why? You know, I'm not going to, it says, you know, press them. But it doesn't, it's really just test fitting hull plating to see the structure building up. I'm not worried about it just yet. We'll do all that when we got more of it done. But we do need to do 2 more corridor arches. This is the fun, right? This is like just their way of torturing. It's busy work, you know. Let's do some more busy work. So we've got our 2 of these guys. We've got our 2 of these. We've got our sprue cutters. Bam, 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 bam. And we need a little thing to put glue on and a little toothpick so that we can dab said glue in the right spots. So we got our thing. We're just going to splort some glue right there. That'll be a place where we grab and dab. Grab and dab. See what I did there? Rhymes. All right, let's cut some sprue. Let's have some hot sprue cutting action right here going. Hey, Paul, can I have some sprue cutting music? I'm going to do what I did before and cut one side of all of the pads first, then flip this unit over and cut the other ones. This allows me to use my right hand consistently throughout, and I am getting as close to the pad as possible before I make each cut so that there's no X-Acto knife cleanup that has to be done on any of these. The other thing I'm doing is, as I'm cutting, making the final cut on each one, I am keeping my hand near it so that I don't lose one of these little tiny pieces. Again, I found them. I found one I thought I'd lost, but it's not something you want to mess with, especially when you're using a really great rubber mat called a slap mat, which is terrific for resin and 3D printing stuff, because you can, if you spill resin, you just take it outside in the sun and stuff comes right off. But it's bouncy, so these little parts that drop here can easily bounce and go into the carpet, and you don't want to lose them. So there's that. It's a lesson learned. A lesson learned with time. Getting these last little ones pulled out on this first deal. Maybe I'm getting faster at the padding. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. What are we in? We're in 17 minutes already. We're more than a quarter through our time. Well, we're not. I was thinking now we're an hour and 20 minutes. But we've got all this busy work ahead of us. All right. Got our ring, got our toothpick, got our pads. So the way I've been doing this is a little dab of that, get the pad positioned in the right place. Watch what I'm doing on the clear deal, the clear Danes deal, and then snap it into place. And then you just repeat, 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 repeat. Dab. Apply to the ring. And as you do it, you're inevitably going to get glue on your fingertips. The smaller the little toothpick and the just enough glue, don't get excess glue if you can avoid it, the better chance you have of coming out of this without glue all over your fingers. Getting things lined up before you snap it so that you're not snapping onto the pad of your finger or your thumb. All these things are super important and will serve to. Have you missed all these, Wes? Guess what? This thing I'm doing right now has been in like 4 of the last 5 videos. It's these little rings. Come on, get in there. Oh, it didn't line up right. There we go. Did, and glue free on my finger. Look at that. How cool is that? Oh, cool. What are you building? Are you building 2 more little video game machines? 2 more of those little mini-cades, micro-cades, or whatever they're called. Wabbit? I don't know if Wabbit's still here. Can't see a list of who's currently in chat or not, so I might be speaking to nobody. Yep. Hey, Nora. Cat coming in to pace back and forth and rub on my legs for the next 3 minutes. Yep. Don't know if the microphone picks her up, but she's always got something to say. She's talking. Right? Huh? Yeah? Right, Inara? In addition to doing the Millennium Falcon builds, I'm starting a new... I've talked about this before somewhere. Maybe it was live or during TMS Vegas. Talked with a few people about this, but doing 3D modeling live streams to show like how I go through my process of visualizing an object and then making it 3D. And I'll do it like I'll basically edit the video so that you get my initial drawing of the object I'm going to be building, then the video of me using Shaper 3D to build it, but it's less focused on the tool I'm using because I want you to be able to use Fusion if you've got Fusion, or what are the other, what's Tinkercad's, is it Tinkercad XYZ or something? Tinkercad makes a free to use 3D modeling tool. Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about, Wes. Yeah, on I-70, it's just as you're going from I-70 to I-25 on the right side of the highway. There's the building that's got the Millennium Falcon. I believe they've also got a Groot painted on the side. That is a sheet metal shop, I believe. That's what I've always assumed it was, just based on why they'd have that out there. It's really completely just an assumption, but it's right by. I don't know if you've gone to Mile High Comics over there. Incredibly huge, massive comic shop. Might even be the last Mile High Comics in Denver. There used to be, back in the 80s when I was collecting comics on the regular, they were all over the city. The one that we used to go to frequently was on Broadway and Alameda. That's where I met Stan Lee. That's where I met Jack Kirby, John Romita Jr. Who was the editor-in-chief for a while? Jim Shooter. Like, they'd have these guest appearances, and this was before comics were cool, so you go in there and you wouldn't have long lines of people waiting to talk to these guys. Like, God, I got in there and had like 3 or 4 minutes to chat with Stan Lee for free. Didn't have to pay anything to have him sign anything. I mean, it was like, Chris Claremont a couple times. Don't think I ever met John Byrne. I'm trying to remember if I ever met John Byrne. This last one's not going in smoothly. Well, it's in. Just didn't give me that satisfying snap. So here is the completed padded rail inside thing here. One down, one to go. But yeah, that I think that is the last Mile High Comics, at least in the Denver metro area, and but it is massive and it's a great store. It is not in the greatest neighborhood. It's not in a place where you'd want to leave your car overnight. But was that Globeville, I believe it is called, so that space between Pecos and I-25, both north and south of I-70. It's it's a rougher area, but the comic store is great, and if you park in the comic store parking lot, you're obviously fine. I do like the new comic store I found because of Comic Book Day, Free Comic Book Day. Coffee Cat Comics in Colorado Mills. I'm going to be going there. I'm going to set up a Dropbox. I'm probably just going to have probably like 3 titles a month for now. X-Men titles, most likely. Maybe a Spider-Man title. I don't know. Something like that. Oh, that did not clip cleanly. That's all right. They did a nice little job dirtying up these pads. Oh, anyway, yeah, so that there's another, let's see. There's another sheet metal place on Federal north of Alameda that actually has a skiing Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz in front of it. That's what made me assume that it's a sheet metal place, or like a vents, like a place that makes vents and stuff, because you'd find vents like that, sheet metal vents that you could tear apart to make a cool Millennium Falcon. Are we going to get through 4 issues today? Are we even going to get through 3 issues today? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Right now, the speed at which I'm going with these, and I wonder if issue 19 or 20 Also has corridor pads, corridors with pads, these rings. I'm sure somebody's figured out a really efficient way to assemble these things. I'm positive that I'm not doing the most efficient way of doing it, but oh, dang it. That piece fell out of my fingers. Glue side down, picking it up. Glue all over my fingertips. Awesome. I am now going to stick to everything for the rest of the day. I do have paper towels over here. Before this stuff settles in too much, a little bit of rubbing alcohol. Here, there we go. Whew, now it stinks of alcohol in here. I was gonna build a Falcon, then I got high. I was gonna put pads on rings, but then I got high. I was spraying some alcohol on my fingers, and I know why. So I could get high, so I could get high, so I could get high. La da 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 da. Whatever happened to Afro Man? You know the guy's got talent. He's probably going to write a follow-up song, but then he got high. He's going to record a whole album, but then he got high. More dabbing of the glue. I think I like blurted out just the right amount of glue off of this thing too. It's going to be just enough to get these pads adhered. These here pads adhered to this thing here. Maybe not enough. Now, I was talking about my new YouTube series that I'll be doing in parallel with the Millennium Falcon build, which is, I believe I'm liking the name Thinking Dimensionally, or I might call it Thinking in 3D, something like that. But it's more about the process of modeling and getting to that and visualizing that modeling, visualizing your project before you even get into the tool, and then figuring out how to build it. Because, you know, with let's take carvings or rock, or sculpting with marble. Obviously, with sculpting with marble, it's a completely subtractive process. You have to start with a block, and then you start taking things out of it. And when you're building with clay, it's an additive process, typically, right? You're starting with nothing, and you are adding clay to it to build your pieces. Well, with 3D modeling, you kind of are using both. You're starting with a primitive. You're starting with a single two-dimensional shape, and then extruding it or using it to cut out other shapes. And so it's a thing where you've got to train your brain to not think additive and not think subtractive, but think what is the end shape going to be, and what's the shortest distance, or what's the most efficient distance to get there. So that's kind of what I want to focus the series on. And for those of you who like TMS, I like TMS. I'm a fan of the show. The first thing I'm going to be building in there is a direct reference to something from the show, and it's something that I think people are going to want to build or 3D print themselves. Or maybe even just buy a 3D printed version from me. And I'm not going to say what it is just yet. You'll just have to wait for the first episode. And I'm thinking I want to start doing that. I want to try doing that this week. Oh, got a little glue on the outside of it. Always happens. Like I'm down to like the last two of these pads. TMS is overrated, says BioCow. I know. You know why? It's because we bribed so many people to get in the podcast awards and win year after year after year to become a legacy podcast. And okay, I think it's something about the last pads here, that the shape or the space they give you for it is just not long enough, and so this thing doesn't click into place nicely. Look at that. There we go. Guess what, folks? We just finished parts 3 and 4, the first pieces of a temporary assembly jig that will support the hull during printing, especially after you add the fine detail pieces that go on top of the plating. The jig is complete in 8 sections, and each one has a pair of foam protective pads. Keep the pads providing this time until you receive the rest of the jig. So, got our pads, got our jig, and we will add those to the thing. So the pads and the jig are the two. So 3 and 4, yeah. Okay, cool. All right. Hey, let's move on to issue 19. See what we got. Shall we? Shall we see what's in issue 19? Issue 19 here. Let's cut it open. Hey, scissors, what did I do with you? I put you right here. Pod fading? What are you talking about? Oh, really? Oh, that's awesome, Wes. Oh my God, yeah, I'd love to hear. I'd love to hear a 3D, or not 3D. I'd love to hear a parody song from you on TMS related. That's a really good primer on how to do it, where to find the music you want to use, that sort of thing. I'm just making sure there's no. Sometimes those little bags of screws can slip up out of the way there. Alright, let's see what we got. Oh, already I'm getting a little nervous. Because why? Because I see one of these and one of these in issue 19. Oh, come on now. Come on, man. This looks like almost like a little plastic scalpel, but it's like a piece of trim. Let's see what we got in 19. Okay. Yeah, screws. Yeah, that. Okay. All right. Detailing the recess. So basically, we're going to be taking this guy right here, and we're going to be gluing a lot of parts from this sprue. He's out of the way for now. Boink. We're going to be taking a lot of parts from here and putting it in this guy right here. It's even numbered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, blah, blah, blah. Note, the circle part is not used in this assembly. It's a plant-on detail for the hull plating, so keep it safe until it's needed. Oh, thank you for that. All right. Well, we got more stuff to glue. We're going to start with this guy right here. This guy is going to go in here, right there. Nice, like so. So we're going to do our little dab of glue right here on those 3 tabs, really on the sides of the tabs, because there's no point in worrying about the tops of the tabs since the tops of the tabs go through. So we apply the glue basically to the sides of each of these tabs, here, 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 and here, like that. All right, and then we push this guy through, make it line up, make it look good, and make it go is what we're going to do. There we go. It is now stoinked right in place. Voila. Okay. Trim number 1 off the sprue. This guy right here is number 1. This is where the magnifying light comes into play really well. Okay. And then it tells me that that part is going to go, looks like right there. Right there, I'll point with there. Like there, those two. And the pins, there's one big pin, one little pin, and it's obviously got to face out, so we'll just actually we'll just apply the glue. Brian's not even doing a test fit. Oh my gosh. I do see a little bit of plastic though. I'm going to trim off really quick. There we go. All right, and we just fork that business right in there, matching up the big tab with the big hole and the little tab with the little hole. And there we go, that guy right there. Yeah, this is definitely something they could have just built into the thing. Trim number 2 off the sprue. Number 2 is this guy right here, little pipe. Little pipe action right there. And right there. That pipe is going to go glue one end into the matching recess indicated. With the other touching one. Oh, okay, gotcha. So it's going to go one end there and the other end in there. So it's basically this doodad right here. We're going to, our glue is kind of running low right there. Plus this is get that in there, and then we're going to apply a little more glue in here. No. I put this guy. I think I'm actually going to put him in one first, and then flip him down into there, so that things match up. Oh, hello. There we go. Cool. So now, that guy's in there. All right. Trim number 3. Went in the matching hole indicated. Oh, okay. Oh, it's going to go... Oh, there's 3. Okay, let's get 3 off of here. I see what we got for 3. It's a pipe and a doodad together, one piece. I was seeing the pipe, I was not seeing the doodad. Okay. All right. We're getting into a spot where I'm going to, I'm just going to put glue on the doodad itself rather than do the dab, the toothpick dab. That guy is going right here. Seriously, it is, I promise. And then you're going to turn it so that the pipe, oh, look at that. I don't like that little chunk of, I can take this, it's still not set. I'm going to clean the excess. You know, something worth doing. It's worth doing right. I'm going to pop all the shade. And glue is still wet, and stuff will hold. There we go. Had a little bit of excess plastic on there. I want to get that off. So they made this in a way, Wes, that everything's already painted in the colors that they need to be. However, you can do additional painting, and I'm planning on airbrushing some battle damage, some space debris damage kind of on it, and making it look, so basically they're doing what they can to make it look like the factory showroom floor version of the Falcon, and I'm going to make it look more like the Empire Strikes Back, it's seen some stuff version of the Falcon. And I mean, airbrushing, it's like perfect for, you don't need to have a lot of preciseness for creating battle damage, so it's really good for me for anything that I need to airbrush. As of right now, I still need to work on my airbrushing skills, but That'll happen. All right, so this guy's going to go into that base. There's another. Just dab the glue right onto the doodad itself. There we go. And it is going to go. Got glue on my fingers again. Goes right on there. We do a little clean up of my finger before that glue sets. So there we go. Piece 4 right there. Piece 5 are these two pipes that are joined together. Fun. All right, looks good. Okay, and this is the matching holes for those 5. Let me look at the, so that guy's going to go, oh wow, yeah, it connects in 3 places. There, and there. Okay, yeah, I can deal with that. So really, I'm going to put glue on the tips of all 3 of those. Sploink, sploink, sploink. Good. That's official glue application sound, by the way. It comes from the Aurora models, now called Polar Lights models series of models that tells you, here are the noises you make when you do certain things with glue. There we go. We now have this pipe right here. Right there. All right. A lot of pipe work on this one. Yeah. Just looked ahead. It is going to have me do it is going to have me do the arches. Damn it! All right. Part 2 is shown with the matching up the 3 tabs with the slots in part 1. Oh, interesting. Right there. So let's make sure this looks good. That's an interesting placement for this one because it really covers up a lot of stuff. Huh. But that is where it goes. Like, this is where this part goes, and if I take it out, like basically, it's covering up all this. But, okay, sure. I'll do a little dabby dab right there, a little dabby dab right there. Basically just getting things where the pins go through, but the glue holds it at that point, because, well, I guess the tabs don't go all the way through, but whatever. That and that there. Those match up. All 3 match up. Okay. So now that piece has been added. We're going to trim number 6 off the sprue. That is this little devicey thing right here. What does it say? Glue the tab on the back slot indicated. Yeah. I'm seeing now which way the part goes. Okay, all right. This is a fun one because this actually only connects to the full sprue with one spot, but then there's another piece, and you just got to figure out. All right, how am I cutting this to make sure that it doesn't? There we go. That's how. Okay. 6 goes. Right there. This is a glue it and use tweezers to get in the right spot situation here. So we've got the part. We've got a pair of tweezers, forceps, and then we're going to put it in its place right there. Sorry, this I'd try and show on camera if I could, but it is a little too fiddly to do without the magnifier. So that's it right there. That's the piece we just put on. And then Part 7 is actually going to touch part 6. This is part 7. Okay. That one's good. Little bit of X-Acto knife clean up on the end. Looks good. And then the way this guy's going to go, it's basically, oh yeah, right into that circle. A little glue on that tab right there. Schmabinkus. Going to get it roughly positioned first. Oh, actually fell right into place. Beautiful. And there we go. There is our bit right there. So, now, here's an interesting thing. It says painting the recess. This area of the Falcon is very dirty. Cap my glue here. I don't like leaving the glue uncapped. Is very dirty with grime caked in the deepest areas. Although it's possible to paint the recess with a brush, the best way to achieve the right look is with spray paints. You'll need 3 colors of matte acrylic modeling paint: black, mid-gray, and light gray. Always use spray paints according to the maker's instructions, taking note of the safety warnings, and cover your work area, blah, blah, blah. Start with matte black paint, shake the can well to mix the color, spray lightly. Yeah, it's basically, he's talking about doing zenithal printing on this thing. So basically we're going to do a black paint all over the whole deal, then the mid-gray right there, and then the light gray right there, and we're going to end up with something that looks like this. The glue is still drying, so I'm going to wait and do that in just a second. I don't feel like it's a good idea to do that with gooey paint. Call me crazy. All right. So while that's going on, we're going to assemble the passage tube. We've got our 2 parts here for the passage tube. We're going to, this is going to be a screw business. So let's get this guy out of the way so we can dry. Got a couple of empty sprues here. We'll toss those in the garbage can. We have our almost empty sprue. I'm not going to throw it away because you got that little piece right there, so we're going to hold on to that for later. And then we're going to open our little bag of screws. Trademark, TM. Dump out our screws right here. Good. Good, we've got our screws dumped out. We should have 3. It's funny, there was no instruction here about completing the 3rd ring, but it says take the 3 assembled corridor arches, including the one provided this time. So before we even start this, let's complete that corridor arch. It's just funny that it doesn't include instructions saying complete the new corridor arch we gave you. You remember, it's exactly the same as the last bunch of corridor arches you've done. So clip, 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 clip. Get this guy out. I think this is the 6th corridor arch I've made, because there was some on the other passageway that comes from the cargo hold before. This is it's just such a great opportunity for me to, to chat with you guys about how life is going. How's life going? Because I'm on autopilot, no pun intended, with these corridor arches. There we go. A little more glue on our plate where we do our little assembly business. Toothpick at the ready. All right, here we go again. Oh God, I know. X-Men 97 is so good, Wes. Like, I genuinely feel like they are slowly but surely improving the animation quality as the season goes on. And I think, they're doing it slowly and subtly, like I think they don't want us to notice. I think they're like, all right, let's do the first episode a little bit more true to the 92 X-Men cartoon, or where we left off in X-Men 96 or 1996. I think they're doing things like, there's a stained glass scene in a couple episodes ago, the Madeline Pryor episode, where there's like stained glass shooting out, flying all over the place. And that is, the effect they used on that was the level of What If and not the level of X-Men 97 they've been using. I think that they're absolutely, I'm fine with that. I feel like, you can do that and still pay homage to the original, and not feel like you're saying, like you're cheating people out of the X-Men 97 experience. But, so I'm absolutely fine, if the end product after a couple, hopefully, seasons of X-Men 97, if they get to someplace that's like basically as good as What If modern animation. Something I'm interested in, what are they going to do for the next season of this? Are they going to call it X-Men 97 Season 2? Are they going to call it X-Men 98? Are they going to just keep increasing since it's another year? I don't know how often they're going to be putting these things to do, but yeah, I probably did see that. I'm a huge Screen Crush fan. It's one of there are like a handful of YouTube subscriptions that as soon as I see a new episode of, I see, I'm subscribed to probably a good 36 creators on YouTube, but when I see a new Screen Crush, when I see a new Jeff Hoagland Marvel Snap card breakdown, I immediately watch it. I can't watch too much Hoagland though, because he kind of embodies some of the toxic player BS that I really hate about PvP games. I never want to assume that the person I'm playing talks as badly about me while they're playing me as Jeff Hoagland does his opponents. But yeah, I watch Screen Crush, Jeff Hoagland. I've been watching Fresh Baked. It's a Disneyland vlog. Like, the guy posts updates almost every day on construction and what's happening at the parks, and then there's Magic Journeys, because I think the couple that put together Magic Journeys are just so adorable. I watch them. Jimmy Kimmel, I watch his monologue the next day, every day. On YouTube. Yeah, those are my frequents, and it's basically like if the rest of the time, I swear to God, I'm listening to stuff for Coverville, for TMS Music, or for Guess the Connection. So I don't have as much YouTube time as I would like. I feel like it's in a much better place than it was 5 to 10 years ago. Oh, cooking stuff. See, I like that. That's another thing. If I could stop lifting, I would do so much more cooking. as it is right now. There we go, another one completed, by the way. in all that talk, I completed another arch. All right, let's see what we got here. We're going to be screwing in these two pieces together. Oh, and it's funny, the way I laid this in here is exactly the way it needs to go. So yeah, so just to kind of put a cap in that, I'd be curious to see some of the shows you're talking about, Wes, like the cooking shows. That stuff does interest me, so I'm really love it if you sent me some recommendations. All right, screws in here, the little gold jobbers, and oops, I missed the piece altogether. Let's try that again. Thought I had things lined up. There's two pieces. There we go. And there we go. Okay. Golly, that slides a lot. All right. Trying to do a firm grip on it, but not too firm, because if I press too firmly, the piece just slides out of place. There we go. And it's already slid down. I can tell because the matching the hole on the other side. Yep. Bogus. And I don't want to just push this because I feel like it'll push the screw right out of the hole. Let's see if that works. Oh, jeez. And then the magnet picks up the screw and totally like flings it around my desk. All right. One more attempt here. Oh, I think I got it. Did it go in? Is in the right place? It is in the right place. Good, I got the screw in the right place. All right, let's do another one. Just drop that right in there. Make use of the magnets. Let the magnets be our friend and not our enemy. Screw that in there. Good. Looks like there are screws all the way down. Is that correct? 4 more screws, yep, to connect the rest of the base. So we'll do that guy. I'm going to do I was thinking I was going to do the bottom one first, but I'm going to do this one first because if it doesn't line up, it's really hard for me to see now that this thing's together. So we're going to do that guy, and then we'll end with these guys right here. This is all good to do while the archway dries. Oh, come on now. Be a friend. Be a friend to me. There we go. Get this last guy in. This is really... See, now that these newer issues have been coming out, the whole thing feels like it's coming together way better. Like it's, you know, you're starting to see things that you recognize from the movies and stuff, so it's really good. Tales of the Empire. Oh, I've not watched Tales of the Empire. Wait a minute, is that the animated? That's the little, the Japanese animated series, right? Anthology series of really cool artwork. Fit the ends of the first arch in the dovetail slots, second, third, and this is another one where those three things have to fit together, or I'm sorry, have to be in a line. So basically just going to dovetail these guys in here and hope that it's the right way. That piece is now in there. What about this guy? Okay, there we go. We're putting these in here. I'm going to do the one I just glued last, giving it just a few more seconds for the glue to set. Not a whole lot of time, but there's that, and then there's that. And those two match up. And if this goes in there, they match up. If this goes there, they don't match up. So that is this is the side that has to go in here. Oh, hello, gluey fingers. There we go, and there is our little walkway. Like I could see, you know, Han and Chewie going through there. How cool is that? Is that the end of that issue? That is the end of that issue. And I have this piece, which I will sit over here to remind myself to spray paint with the black and gray. What are we at? We're at 1 hour right now. My gosh, time flies when you're doing millions of archways. All right, let's see if I can at least get 20. Let's see what's involved with issue 20. Oh, lordy, issue 20 is a lot. I'm looking at issue 20, and it is a lot of stuff. All right, we're going to hold off on issue 20. I like keeping these things to an hour and 20 minutes, and I think issue 20 will take more than 20 minutes. So right there is where we will stop for today. I will put the leftover gold screw in. We'll let that dry. We'll get the other thing painted. And then 20 and 21 will be next time. I'll edit the name of this episode so it's not misleading to folks who are looking for issues 20 and 21. But hopefully we get 20 and 21 done this week too. Lots of stuff to do, and the less time I spend in the lift, the more time I can spend doing this fun stuff for you guys. So make sure to subscribe, hit the bell, use your, you know, if you got YouTube subscriptions, use them, and I'll do a little bit better with my audio. So that's going to do it for 18 and 19 Millennium Falcon, and we'll do, oh God, does this work on here? It does not. That's all right. We'll do issues 20 and 21 next time. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you later for the next couple issues. Bye.